They have released the dog. I'm Lil Rick the gamer, do 100% gamer, bro. No one else working hard, I would do it for the gamer. Can't contain my flow. I need to play a game for sure. Maybe RTS, RPG, or maybe even MMO. Howdy, and welcome back to another video for Lord of Heroes. Now I need you to hit that like and subscribe buttons as I post content daily. Link to our Discord where we talk about this game and other games we played will be in the description box below, as well as the pinned comment below. Alright, so to kick off another episode for this nice little series where we break down each class and each hero and how you should be building them in different kind of styles and orientations and all of that good stuff and everything too. So it should get better as time go, and I probably would never update the older ones, but just saying. So today we're going to talk about everybody's little sniper girl we love, Olga, if you played the Frontier test, but Olivia, which I didn't really break down snipers in the one video I did, kind of going over the classes and everything. Oh, see, I forgot about the sniper class. So we're going to talk about it a little more into depth in this video. And most of you probably already played through the first week, and if you at the beginning of the first week and you probably got her already, or if you're at the end of the first week or you just starting, you're getting close to getting her because you know your 7th day and all of that good stuff and everything. So we're gonna click on her, and if you got this nice little icon right here, you know you got you a sniper. Now snipers are familiar with the Surge set. Now it's a 2 set, which means you can have as many as 6, I want to say, 2, 4, 6 of these sets all together. Granted, you have enough to do so. Now what the Surge set says it does, feels more of the burst gauge when performing an action, and you know your burst gauge is what allow you to do your burst. So you got you a full set of Surge, and let's say like on 2 snipers in your team, you're going to be going crazy. And if you have a level 10 Lord on top of it, so that means you have the assist formation unlocked, you're gonna like be even insane on gaining burst and being able to burst the enemies down relatively quick. That'd be more of a later game strategy for like speed comp farming and all of that kind of stuff, to just throw away all of your energy as quickly as possible, stuff like that. Now, there are a variety of ways to build her, and everybody in this game for that matter. But you know, we're going to start off by reading the skills first, because the skills is the fundamentals of knowing what the hell your hero does. So we're going to start off with S1. Shell Shot says, attacks the selected enemy, 100% chance to reduce the action gauge by 20%. 100% chance, so she's guaranteed to do this. That means even bosses is feeling these shell shot hands. She pulling them triggers and she giving them that letting them have it. They feeling it. All right, so that's gonna be good. That means that she's gonna be great at slowing the enemy down, which even on the final boss is really good to some degree. It was helpful for this alternate account that we're looking at her on right now, and what she was capable to do. So for some of you that are having a tough time on the boss and just waiting for Olivia, she can help you out tremendously in this aspect, and a lot of bosses going forward into the hard mode as well, making things just so much more easier for you to progress. Now for her S2, Flash Bomb, which says attacks all enemies, 50% chance to reduce each enemy's speed for 1 turn. Now speed slow is good. That's also another way of mitigating the enemy from getting turns and allowing your team to get more turns, which can be beneficial as well. 50% chance, so it's like not activate, so that kind of sucks in its own. But both of these skills do go through a resistance check. Well, I'm not sure about the first one because I don't think I've seen it resist, but More than possible, because the second one is a debuff. It does have a chance to resist, so she is gonna want some debuff rate to land this skill. So for her burst, which I don't think I said in the last video, but in this video, the spirit cross, it says is 3, so that means you need 3 of the little bars that be at the bottom of the screen, 3 of those bars in order for you to use this burst skill. Some characters have more, I think some maybe even less, but 3 of them to use her burst. And it says attacks the selected, well, precision sniping. Attacks the selected enemy, gains an extra turn if the enemy dies. More than 1 extra turn cannot be gained in a row. Now this is pretty much to stop like over spamming if you can one shot things, which will be really strong in a PvP set, at least the way that I see it. I mean, because you're gonna want mostly AoE for like stage clearing and everything like that, farming and something like that. You're gonna want mostly AoE, so even if she can just snipe things down the road, it's not gonna be considerably faster than somebody that can just one shot the whole row with an AoE skill from the get-go. But it's still a really strong skill. It does considerable damage, and it's just good. It's just good. I don't use it often. Like when I'm doing the manual runs, I don't use it often because I don't have a need for it. And my Olivia is not quite billed as a DPS, but maybe in the future. Now this one, deadly accuracy passive, increase the elemental. Oh, so this is just for the elements. Now what is this one? Okay, no, she gets a speed increase for her piercing gaze with this passive, which is a good thing though. She can get a lot of speed if it's leveled up. That's a lot of extra speed that she can have, which makes her fast and able to take turns. Because she does seem like one that you would want to take an early turn, especially first turn, because she could just come in, slow down an enemy real quick, even if she doesn't kill them right away. Slow them down with the first skill if necessary, or just put the slow debuff on all of the enemies. So she's a candidate for having high speed, which mine doesn't. But we're gonna look at what we have on mine here, and then we're gonna go over a few builds that you can do for her to get the best out of her kit. So we got defense here, we got HP there, attack here, defense here, debuff rate because we want to be able to land our slow, and crit damage. Don't ask. Crit damage. Alright, so I'm going to start off by addressing the crit damage. The only reason I have this is because I don't have any other Surge set piece of gear. I don't think there's anything in my box here for Surge. Like, not that I don't see anything yet. Nothing at all for Surge. So it was the only way I was going to be able to get it. And I feel like this set is critically important to try to get the bonus for, because more burst gauge it just makes your team more efficient all around. So even for your supports for your team, you know, your healers and everything, they're able to spam their burst skills like more frequently. So that's why I feel like this is more important to be able to sacrifice getting other stats that might be important. But crit damage is not bad for her, especially if you're on a crit rate build. But you will notice that mine is not really on crit rate. She does have a considerable amount of defense, but we do have couple defense of pieces of gear. And it's mostly because I don't have a second set of DPS gear, and that's going to be hard. And I'm going to say this right now, like at the most, if you're not really putting a lot of resources into your gear and in buying your gear through the gacha, because that's where you're going to get most of your best gear from. If you're not putting a lot of resources through there and spending probably money to do so, you're not going to have a lot of gear to be able to build more than one solid DPS, unless you're really lucky. If you're really lucky, you might be able to get 2, but and if you're a person that saved up for the blue Vanessa, yeah, probably only 1 you're gonna have, because you spent 6,000 gems, which that could have been extra gear and go to level said gear. on with half of the cost of that. So since you've done that probably, so you're definitely gonna be in a situation where you're not gonna be able to just have a lot of gear. So you're gonna have to make do with what you have, and at that point, that's when you're gonna go for bruiser builds. If you can get crit rate, if you can get crit rate on them, and I felt like debuff rate was more important, but look, I got crit damage here, so it's like I couldn't even get it there. I had to have the surge set, so it was like it wasn't nothing else I could possibly get. Like I can put crit rate on her, but that at the cost of not having the surge set. I might test it out just to see how I feel in the difference between them, but at the same time, like my other sets, like I don't have attack here. This is attack. This is her 1 health. Like we could go attack on her health side, but then we lose a lot of HP as well, and we at least want to have 1 HP slot for it. Like we could swap out this defense, but we are losing crit rate here, and we have to coincide. We don't have crit rate there. This doesn't have crit rate, so it's like this doesn't, like none of these, even though they have attack, we could try to see how this would roll and see what it would turn out to if it would give us crit rate. Because even if we put this one on and the main account right now is messing with me, and we max it out with the amount of crit rate subs that we have, which is really low. Like we leveled up some of these, and some of them don't even have crit rate. It's like some of these don't even have. So it's like with the lack of crit rate subs that we have, in how low the rolls that we have, because none of them rolled into it, it wouldn't even matter because we wouldn't have enough to crit rate. And my recommendation for your DPS on crit rate is right now 95% and higher, or you're going to suffer from missing a lot of you're going to suffer from missing a lot of critical hits when you don't hit that 95% mark. Now, I still haven't got anybody at 90% to check and see if that was the lowest threshold. But I know 85% don't cut it, because I see my fire pup on my main miss crits like so freaking much. Like he's over 80% and he almost never crits, and it irks my soul because it'd be like, we finally got the defense break up, and he doesn't crit on it. Like, so that is a thing. That is a thing there. So instead, I went for the more supportive role and the more saboteur role for her, as far as landing her debuffs and slowing the enemy down, and that's what I just wanted the most from her. With the build that I have now, in time that it will change. Now, if I were to try to be the most optimal with her, what I will probably have is 2 different ways you could go. 2 different ways I think you could go. You can go for a lot of crit rate and crit damage in her subs and have double speed here, so she can just be really fast to take turn 1 and to shut the enemy down. And this is speaking for maybe even a PvP side of things, like especially going against something that could like let's say like a Chrome or Aslan, for instance, who can like take turn 1 and boost their turns. Well, if you have her fast enough to go move before that they do, then you can have her slow them down, and then your team moves in that aspect. Just in a PvP aspect of things, and I'm saying the word aspect way too much. Let's find a new word, gamer. Alright, now in another way, you could go crit rate, crit damage on her. If you're just starting out and you can't get enough crit rate, you can go double crit rate on her. And double crit rate and not worry about the crit damage. If you can get crit damage and subs, that would be great. And of course, you're going to probably want to have your 1 piece of defense gear, then the rest is attack. You'll just have attack gear. And remembering the thresholds of what you need for percent for all of your stats. So once you hit those thresholds, then you'll go for percent rather than flat. But flat, if you can get your stats in flat first and foremost. If not, just go with what the best that you have, and for that matter, and just do something in that way. Caught myself that time. Yeah, I thought I was gonna say it. I think that's pretty much it for the most part. It's not really much else that I would do personally when building her. Like, I really don't like the build that I have for her, but it's what's working right now. Like I said, I might test something else out, but that also costs resources to level up other gear, and I just don't have the gold, and really not looking to invest in the gold just to move stuff around with her when she works okay. I mean, she dies a lot, but we run water Vanessa, so that kind of like that is a thing. And she just revives her, so we don't worry about her dying. We expect her to die, so we can just revive her anyway. And now that we have the fire Vanessa, which we're going to talk about that in some videos, so I just say right now, if you haven't spent any of your renown, don't save it. Save every bit of it. Trust me. Fire Vanessa is probably going to be something that you're going to want. I'm testing her out right now, so we don't want to make that a definitive answer, but I'm just saying, save for now. Don't get the fire pup like I did. He's good, but I have another video explaining why someone else is better that will be coming soon. But that will be it for today. So I hope you guys have enjoyed and possibly learned something new. And if you did, make sure you smash that like button. If you didn't, there is a button for you guys as well. Link to our Discord where we talk about this game and other games we play will be in the description box below, as well as the pinned comment below. We want to keep this series going and rolling. We probably might have a video every single day on another hero as we move on forward. So if you're new here, make sure you subscribe and turn those post notifications on so you can see my content when it goes live first. And this is your host, Gamer Dude 2088, and I will see you next time. And I'm out. Deuces.